Deacon Sakari, we back at it like a crack addict. They done let them bruise in the dough in this wicked industry to shine the light. They done let them bruise in the dough. Oh shit. They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise in the dough. We ain't going nowhere. Hebrews. They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise in the dough. Look, Joe Biden need to free Dark Lo. The hell is wrong with dude? No Alamolek, but I got perfect vision in the dark. I'm a lexicon, I'm a megalodon, all my verses ripping them apart. Mosaic law, what the church is missing, it's the worst religion from the start. In my soul, where the word is written out, that circumcision of the heart. I'm rocking my fringes, I'm in Seattle, rocking like Hendrix. No industry gimmicks, you rappers are finished, I'm kicking it off the hinges. Throwing stones like you sinless till you get the business. You should have repented in a minute, this truth is endless. They loving the image, I know what happened to Kim. What happened to Kim? I keep my pencil on point, no sharpener. Used to weigh pounds of tro, I lay down the flow like carpenters. She causing division in the sisterhood, I'm marking on. I'm preparing the way for the harvester, I'm a harbinger. Cops hop out, we bail on them. Leviticus, I like my fish with scales on them. Ask Chief Ephraim, he can vouch. We be putting in the work while you sitting on the couch. Camp haters quiet as a mouse. Yeah, already shout out to my brother Austin Trout. Just as a reminder if there's doubt, I wear every single fringe even when I'm in the house. Get all your truth music at deaconsakari.com. That's 9 albums. We even got a couple free for y'all. Support the cause, y'all. I see a lot of haters. I knew it would come with it. Rap game full of evil and sin, and I don't want none of it. They bite my style. They just want to take it and run with it. Sakari Varsity Online Academy, specializing in Hebrew apologetics. Come learn how to defend the gospel. Email sakariseattle@gmail.com. Limited registration. Or your one-hit wonder list. You can call me the deacon. But just put the strong right in front of it. World of sin, sedition of men. I know the Most High is my ruler. My neighborhood full of drug deals, blood spills from fire and Rugers. These niggas getting crazy. I seen them do a drive-by in the Uber. I tell them come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Lion of Judah. But some people think we finally back on. Children's Bibles with black and brown images. I know a lot of y'all been waiting. You better, a lot of people on back order. We still got some though. Put your order in before it's too late. I'm gonna start having them regularly, Lord willing. But get it in, let's go. Hit me up, DM. Even your head wrap, stay dipped, stay brewed, dripping. All right, deaconsakari.com. All right, y'all, go to czyn.network. czyn.network. We done with Patreon. No more Patreon. czyn.network. You're going to get videos too hot for YouTube or early releases. So go sign up. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Not only do you get Deacon Sakari's content, you get Guerrilla Hebrew content, Hassad content, other camps putting their content on this platform. We need our own app, so sign up using promo code Deacon Sakari. czyn.network. It's our own app, our own platform. The white man can no longer subvert or hide or try to censor this truth. So sign up and get this heat. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. Promo code Deacon Sakari. CZYN.
Hey, listen, man. Y'all already know what this is. This ain't nothing new to y'all. Make it to the end. Make it to the end. Make it to the end. Hey, to the end. Hey, and don't quit. And don't quit. And don't quit. And don't quit. Have you ever went to court and got sentenced to 10 years of forgiveness?
For the children of God, the church, if you don't know.
Glide, please. Slide with me, Christians. Let me show you where we kick it at.
Alright, the messenger will take it from there.
Let's go. Slide with me, Christians. Let me show you where we kick it at. Where the children living at. G.O.D. be chillin' at.
First of all, I never leave you. You can take your mama there. She can have 100 courses.
shit up. Get back. I know it. But I'm a so to the better way. I'm a boot, but you know why I'm rolling.
Check out the brother Peacekeeper, bringing that fire music, all praises. Get your commercial played here. Contact SakariSeattle@gmail.com. Introducing Super Thanks. YouTube has now added a feature where you can donate if you missed the live show by just clicking the heart button with the thanks on it. It'll be on every video. It'll highlight your comment to bring more attention to your statement. So if it's on your heart, super thanks. Shalom. Popping mollies and putting powder in your nostrils. We be in the trenches, needles under benches. We be giving them the gospel. I keep 12 Sakari members with me. We be moving like apostles. True. Some stitches is dead traps, hair rasp, but you still a thought though. The church don't even know the truth. They can even tell you an Israelite. The Arabs selling you all the switches and the malt liquor are the Ishmaelites. You can show a nigga slave ships in the Bible, still won't get it right. Until the time's out, then a nigga gotta find out what them missiles like. Mic check, mic check. All praises, honor, and glory. All praises, honor, and glory. All right, y'all. Mic check, mic check. Let's start this off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, the Most High God of the universe. Ba'Hashem Yahushai, in the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Now, I know in the past I've said that I would never do a lesson or class on this topic because it's so stupid. Judah Israel, the water for supporting the ministry, and Jalen Howard, the water for supporting the ministry. Shalom, really appreciate you. I know I said that this was just so eccentric and bugged out, if you will, that I would never address this topic, but here I am today. I just can't believe. I know the white man, woman, and child are the devil that the Bible speaks of. I know that. I live it. I've seen it. I experience it daily. But damn it, and we do know that they have controlled our records and sources, and they have explained or tried to teach us our history. Now, of course, we don't believe everything the devil says, but the things that the devil says that we could substantiate as actual and factual, it's a fact. We don't only have the devil telling us the transatlantic slave trade happened. We have our ancestors passing down oral tradition. We have our ancestors passing down oral tradition of a transatlantic slave trade. We have archaeological records of a transatlantic slave trade. We have African countries apologizing for their involvement of the transatlantic slave trade. So this is just either way, this guy has 500,000 subscribers and probably 1 billion views, because Black people want to go against the grain and be the first to sound deep, philosophical, in some new thing and teaching some new thing, right? So we got to examine this, talk about it today, debunk it, because denying or
saying that we, the Negroes here in America, were already here. We are the indigenous people here. We are the Native Americans here. That is just not true. Were some of us here a very, very, very minute, minuscule remnant? Yes. How? I'm going to explain that. How? So you got Anglo-Antonian says the brother said Nat Turner didn't exist. Jesus Christ. Yeah, hit that like button so that we can get this video um perpetuated and propagated throughout the internet highway. So what happens is I want to just explain a little bit before we get into it. What happens is people see darker Native Americans that may not have so-called Negroid features, and they'll say, "Oh, see, they were darker." And then people will see Negroes who have assimilated or taken on what you would call Native American heritage. Why is that, Deacon? Well, there's two reasons. For one, the indigenous people, the Native Americans, they are just like the so-called Negro. We are all Israelites, and so we're different shades of light brown to dark brown. It's a shame that I gotta talk about this. This is crazy. If Dane Calloway, I already seen, I think they said Brother Jabari washed him up on Sarnetta a few days ago. But we would definitely here at the Sakari love to somebody said fam first American minds. Okay, so if I have no scholarship, we're gonna give him the link. Fam first American minds. We're gonna see if we have some scholarship here. He wanna be African. Okay. Well, you have 30 seconds to click the link or you are banned from the channel. I don't even think you know me, sir. So now you got to get your issue. Let's give him 30 seconds. Oh, ban me. Look at you, oh ass nigga. He did the digital dash. He did the digital dash. He wanted to get banned because he didn't want to come on here and test my scholarship. Look, if this topic is going to make you angry, then just leave the channel. I'm not angry about it, even though I think it's a ridiculous ideology. So if it's going to trigger you and upset you, just leave the channel. Especially if you consider me to be your brother. He said, I want to be African. He must not know who I am. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Came to the wrong channel, nigga. No Pan-African. Ain't no Kemet. Ain't no Egyptologist. Ain't no Nuwapian or none of that. Anyway. So let me go back to my screen here. So like I was saying, when we see so-called Negroes who appears to be taking on Native American heritage, there's a reason for that. While we see Negroes taking on or identifying as Native American, there's two reasons, and it's very simple. A very small remnant of us dwelt here with the Native Americans prior to colonization. How, Deacon? Because we're all Israelites, and some of the Southern Kingdom Israelites will be the so-called Negro tribes. They went with the northern kingdom when you read Chronicles and Kings. Let me say that slowly. Some of us of the Negro tribes, the southern kingdom of Israel, the Jews of the Bible, we went with the northern kingdom. So you will see a very small remnant of what appears to be Negro featured Native Americans amongst the indigenous Native Americans. The biblical historicity explains that some of the southern kingdom went with the north. And just like some of the southern kingdom went with the north, some of the northern kingdom went with the south. What does that mean, Deacon, for the first time viewers? That means our indigenous brothers here to the Americas, like the Latinos and Native Americans, some of them came with us 2,000 years ago, 3,000, 2,500, even 3,000 years ago. Some of them came and dwelt among us, which is why you have tribes like the Yoruba or Israelite tribes in West Africa identifying as Gadites or Ephraimites. Those are Northern Kingdom tribes. This is all so simple. But because Black people want to sound so deep and philosophical and teach some new thing, they have jumped off the bridge with this one. Jumped off the bridge with this one. Sakari leadership is willing to have this discussion with Dan Calloway. Maybe some of you guys can get at him, and maybe he's in good with Sarnetta, so we can holler at Sarnetta about this. I never even thought about debating this, but if people want to see it, we would love to discuss it. Okay, now I said there's two reasons why you may see Negroes identifying as Native Americans. And Demetrius and also 12 Gates, the water y'all for super chatting, for supporting the ministry. So I said two reasons. And one reason is because you had Negroes dwelling amongst the Northern Kingdom who would be called Native Americans and Latinos today in the biblical times, coming over here with them. Then you have runaway slaves. I'm gonna prove all this. It's very easily. It's not, I don't even have to be a top scholar to go into this. Then you have runaway slaves who the Native Americans were taking in. What would happen normally? They would assimilate into the tribal culture and have kids and their kids all the way up till today. You see Black ass niggas like Leroy and Tyrone at what's it called at powwows doing Native American dances, knowing them niggas should be having braids with beads and old English cans around them. It's very simple, y'all. History shows it and history proves it. But let's get into it. So I want to say fair use first. I want to say fair use as we examine this content. Fair use. This is going to be our thoughts and comments on this content. Fair use. This is going to be our thoughts and comments on this content. All right. What are we here to prove today? Just the facts, just the truth that the indigenous who the world recognizes as Native Americans today and Latinos today are the indigenous people of this land. They range from shades from dark brown to light brown. And some of them, a very small portion, have what you would call Negro features due to some of the Southern Kingdom being amongst them. And then, them assisting with a lot of the runaway slaves and bringing them in. And you bring them in, there's mixing too. And the Southern Kingdom dwelling with them for 2,500, 3,000 years, there's mixing as well. It's very simple. So to believe that we are, and this is another thing, to believe that African Americans are the real Native Americans, you deny the transatlantic slave trade. You're going to hear it. That's a major part of this ideology, is that we were already here. There was no slave trade. So that's what we're here. We're here to just discuss and debunk those 2 points. And somebody said, what about the admixture of blacks and Asians to get Hispanics? Sir, the so-called Hispanics that you see today, they're depicted on archaeology and their own murals as looking the same way before colonization. So you have to stop spewing unintelligible rhetoric. Thank you. It's so funny when people act like there wasn't Aztecs and Mayans here already, and that blacks had sex with Native Americans and created Hispanics. Sir, the Mexicans come from the Aztec Empire, and the Mayans, they were here already, sir. God, black people kill me sometimes. And I get to talk bad about black people. You know why? Because I'm the most racist, pro-black nigga there is. And I'm not only a nigga, like I say, I'm the nigga. And I know how you coon-ass niggas be acting. Anyway, let's play some of this. Hopefully Dan Calloway can... Somebody said Mexicans come from Spaniards. Sir, Mexicans come from the Aztec Empire. The Aztec Empire existed before Spaniards even came to America. They're from Spain. Moderators. I'm about to add a couple more moderators. Today, I can't take it. Why don't you guys go bother Alizar and Hassad or Sakari San Diego? Lord in Christ, I'm about to add a couple more moderators. Today, for the sake of my tranquility, we're just going to be heavy on the block button today. Not even any timing out, just block. Let me see. Let's see. I need some Sakari officers. How many moderators we got? We got 1, 2, 3. We need one more. Nigga said the Bering Strait. Sir, just leave, please, leave. Yes. All right. So we got Sakari Dallas in here. We got the Wolf Pack. All right. So like all these crazy ass comments, like it's okay to disagree, but please be intellectually responsible. So let's go. I got a whole short. It's a short presentation. It ain't even a presentation, but it's okay. How you feeling? You good? You straight? Maccabees, clap and squeeze. If you mess with Maccabees, we clap and squeeze. All right, fair use. This is going to be our thoughts and comments on this content. Hopefully Dan Calloway, Dan, or whatever you want to call it. Hopefully he allows me to scrutinize his rhetoric. I mean, we do videos that people scrutinize, so it's fair game. Let's play some of this. Now, what I have noticed, like my first time watching this guy was probably like a couple of days ago. Like I said, this is the most preposterous thing that I've Invite him on your show and face him like a man. Oh my goodness. Is he even a debater? Look, I already said that we're willing to debate. Is he a PhD scholar? These people see the title of this video and act like I'm just some nigga on Martin Luther King Street who decided to grab a laptop and get on the internet. Before you comment, listen or Google me. I'm Googleable. Sakari. Let's play this. We want Billy Carson and this guy. And they're not even PhD scholars. We're actually stooping down for this. What happened? Let me refresh this. I do have a question though. So who the hell are them people in West Africa that look exactly like us? Those that we would call left behind. Now we know some of them are Hamites, but as far as where we were taken from, a lot of those left behind are Israelites. Who the hell are they then? Where are we not the same? Never mind. But what I have noticed again about his videos is I don't really hear his voice or him teaching. It's like clips. Now, look, like I said, I only watch like a few videos of his, and not the whole thing, of course. But I skip through them, and it's him just getting clips of people saying stuff. So I haven't like seen him give an actual lecture and presentation on his position. Look at this nigga, man. Why is this doing? My apologies, y'all. Let me refresh this one more time. My fault. 1 second. Nigga got some feathers in his hair thinking he's from the Slapaho tribe. That's the only tribe you niggas is from who think you're native. Can you guys even hear this? Can you guys even hear the video? Can you guys hear that audio or no? Okay, so you couldn't hear it. All right. So usually what we do is we use Safari for that. So let's pull up Safari. That's the problem. All right. Yeah. Kevin Gates. Nigga used Kevin Gates and Ice Cube. I know what he's doing though. He's playing on the people.
This is a metabolism killer. This is a metabolism killer. And even this is a metabolism.
Okay, hold on. Okay, this should work.
To watch my exclusive content, not featured anywhere on YouTube, log on to write a story to make it seem as if they won when they didn't. When they didn't. When they didn't.
It's really important for us to remember our history. You know,
So the first one he has is Barack Obama. You know what's so funny? This is just so funny. He has Barack Obama trying to say that we are Native Americans, but then he has another video where this black Native American nigga woman as we call them, because that's how she was acting, very uncomely and immodest. She's gonna say, yeah, we ain't African. Obama's African. But then he has Obama, an African, saying that we are. Never mind.
unless you're one of the first Americans, you came from someplace else. Somebody brought you.
Because, however much America strays away.
So his first scholarly source is Barack Obama, a man that smokes with cigarettes. Hey, hold on. There was the guy that came out and said Barack Obama had a gay lover. So I'm not sure when he became this historical scholar of anthropology.
From the ideals of justice, the goal of America is freedom.
Then he has Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King.
Used and scorned though we may be, our destiny is tied up in the destiny of America. Before the Pilgrim Fathers landed at Plymouth, we were here. Before Jefferson etched across the pages of history the majestic words of the Declaration of Independence, we were here.
Now, if he's saying that the Native Americans are our brothers, I'm with that. But I highly doubt that he's saying that it's Martin Luther King. This is the same guy who Jewish people wrote his speeches and gave him. Ain't that funny? You're a Christian. You have a Jewish person writing your speech. They don't even believe in the New Testament that you believe in. So far, 2 sources debunked.
Before the beautiful words of the Star-Spangled Banner were written, we were here.
Did you hear what he said? The beautiful words of the Star-Spangled Banner. Do you understand? I am an extremist, everybody. I'm an extremist and I'm an ultra-nationalist. If you're just now watching this channel, I'm an extremist and I'm an ultra-nationalist. Look that up. Look that up. Real field nigga. Look that up. The ones on the red list. Yeah, I said it. We are on the red list. Can't stop it anyway. That's us. So then he has Malcolm X. He has Malcolm X. And one thing is funny, I came up with a bar yesterday too, because you know I'm in album mode. You guys want to hear a bar real quick? Not only am I an ultra nationalist extremist, I also got bars. You guys want to hear a bar real quick from the upcoming album? I said, this ain't bacon. I said, you see this on my plate? This ain't bacon, it's lamb. I'm a Hebrew. You better off joining the nation of Islam. All praises. But the point is this, though. Somebody said Indians own slaves, which my grandpa was one. Blacks own slave too, bro. Come on. There's nothing you can say that I haven't heard. I'm not trying to say that pridefully. Just 15 years of hearing the same old shit and debunking it. But yeah, you see this on my plate, it ain't bacon, it's lamb. You better off joining the nation of Islam. But I say that to say this though. Black Muslims, also the nation of Islam, they act like everybody was just Negro. And they'd be like, the black people was this, the black people were the Egyptian, the black people were the Arabs, the black people were the first to start Buddhism, the Hinduism. And so what happens is with the nation and black Muslims, they go by black. Like if you're melanated, they really believe if you're melanated, we're all the same people. Them East Indians are blacker than you. Moses, no, you can't get on the live. You just, matter of fact, Moses, hit the email, sakariseattle@gmail.com. sakariseattle@gmail.com. And whoever your leader is, we can set up a formal debate or we can set up an open discussion. So hit the email, but we want your leader. You didn't even know Abraham had a promise. Let's set up a formal debate. We'll put your name in the title, your congregation in the title, your church in the title. Yeah. And you got to show your face too. So let's see, because I know it's the same group of niggas coming on here harassing me. Let's set up a formal debate. Live flyers and everything. Huh? Yeah. So yeah, hit my email. Let's continue. But I say all that to say, because he's gonna have Malcolm X saying that we were here first. The Muslims believe that everybody who's dark skinned is the same race. That's ridiculously stupid.
He sent one priest to the Indians in
Now, I would never disrespect Malcolm Little. I would never disrespect Malcolm Little. Why? Because of his extreme hatred for our slave masters, unlike Martin Luther King. So I would never disrespect Malcolm. Did he start to, soften up at the end? Yes, you know what I mean? But his whole body of work prior to him switching up was mostly his extreme scolding of the slave masters. And for that, I will always love him and never disrespect him. So even though I would definitely not say he's a scholar or he was correct on this statement here, but I know why he's saying it. Like I said, the Muslims believe everybody with darker skin is basically the same people.
New York and another priest to the Indians in Pennsylvania. And he just both of them would tell lies to both Indians. And the Indians who had never been at war with each other would start beating the tom-tom, the war drum. And then as they got ready to come together and fight, the priest was running and said, let me be the mediator. The New York Indians, you move out to Minnesota. And the Pennsylvania Indians, you move out to Oklahoma. I believe the whole state of New York and Pennsylvania for the white man. You see how he does it? You see how he does it? You see how he does it? You see how he does it?
If I lost it all and I had... Matter has nothing to do with the...
Oh, here it is. This is right here. So let me tell you guys how hypocritical Dan, however you say it, Calloway. I'm just going to say Calloway. Let me show you how hypocritical he is. So remember, the first source that he brought to prove that we are actually Native Americans was Barack Obama. Then he plays this sister right here, and she's going to say that nigga's a Hamite. Barack Obama said we were here first, like he was a so-called African American. But then she comes on and just destroys this guy. You had to see this, Mr. Calloway, but you put it on here anyway. Fair use.
Original Black American Indians. Black Lives Matter is a propaganda to keep blacks thinking that they're African Americans that came on slave ship. We already know. We are waking our people up to let them know that we are the American indigenous Indians. Black Lives Matter do not represent our people. We do. Jesse Jackson do not represent our people. Barack Obama do not represent our people. We're
So he played the clip with Barack Obama from the beginning, and then he played this sister going in on his black head. Come on, man. This is not work. This is not work.
African Americans. We're indigenous. African.
Sister, I promise you, you eat fried chicken and Kool-Aid. Shut up. Act like you eating what the Native Americans eat. Your ass is eating fried chicken and Kool-Aid and watermelon like everybody else, nigga. I guarantee it.
American is Obama. Why? Because his mother's European and his father's Kenyan. That's an African American. A real Indian, American Indian is me. Both of my parents are American Indians, not from Africa.
Niggas know.
You ain't eating chitlins? Tell me you ain't eating chitlins. Again, I didn't say he was Muslim. I was talking about Malcolm X. So now they got Waka Flocka. So now he got Waka Flocka. The same nigga that said Riverdale. I go hard in the... You know what? How about this? Let's read Waka Flocka's lyrics. Waka Flocka. Let's just read his lyrics. Hard in the paint lyrics. Let's read this. Somebody said there's a lot of videos showing documents. Why use videos of people just talking? This is not me. This is him. Let's read his lyrics. So that being dismissive doesn't disprove anything. Sir, don't worry. Stick around. Somebody said Flocka got bars. Okay, here we go. I go hard in the mother paint, nigger. Leave you stinking, nigger. What the F you thinking, nigger? I won't die for this shit or what the F I say. Front yard broad day with the SK. See, Gucci, that's my mother, nigger. I hang in the Dale with them hood squad killers. Waka Flocka flame, one hood ass nigger. This dude, the box said he got bars. Riding real slow, bending corners, my nigger. Stop. See, you guys want me to suspend the box. He's getting suspended. Okay, here we go. Got a main itch, got a mistress. A couple of girlfriends. I'm so hood rich. Keep my hard and keep me smoking. You'll get bills free. Oh, he's a trick. Real trick. He's a real trick. A T-Rick. Trichosaurus Rex. You get bills free, show you no joking. And what I stand for, Brick Squad. I'm gonna die for this show, man. I swear to God. Okay, so I'm serious though. Since Waka Flocka Flame said we got to take this seriously. Since Waka Flocka Flame said it, we got to take this seriously. Let's hear it. Now, listen, this is all we're asking for. This is all we're asking for is proof. They're going to ask him, they're going to get on this guy's ass right here. Pause. But that's all we're asking for. If this is true, where's the artifacts? Where's the history? Where's the archaeology?
People don't crack. Like black don't crack.
Yeah, black don't crack. That was
it rhymes.
Yeah, what's it inconsistent?
Well, indigenous don't crack.
Indigenous.
The natives don't crack.
The natives don't
you
crack.
You can see a native and he could be 90 years old and still look 50. I'm talking for the natives.
Yeah.
I like when it comes to talking about African Americans, I have no education with that. Period. I don't. I'm not even connected.
He said when it comes to African Americans, he has no education for that. Sir, when's the last time you put a feather in your head? When's the last time you had some moccasins? Let's take a look. Let's get the goddamn picture of Waka Flocka and see if he got some moccasins on. If he got some moccasins or he got some Jordans on and Air Forces. Waka Flocka. Let's see if this nigga got some moccasins on. We're gonna see if you got Jordans or moccasins on. Talking about you don't know about African American culture. Let's see. Okay, I see a fitted hat. I see fitted hats here. Don't let me see a white Jesus, because we made that shit. We the ones who wear that shit. Let me see an iced out Jesus piece. Yeah, you don't know about African American? Native Americans wearing dreadlocks? Come on, bro. We got to stop. Okay, what are these? I think those are Pradas. Here we go. These look like Air Forces right here. No, Apex. He said he's sitting here lying, talking about he don't know nothing about African American. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. You have to know about African American. This is the culture that you've adopted. And if you really believe you're Native American, then at least you would assimilate or identify with that culture, at least the culture that we have today. Or they have today. There go to Timberlands. Now these kind of could pass for moccasins if you at first glance. TMB. He's saying he knows nothing about African American education. Come on now. I can't say what he meant by that because he didn't say it. But that wasn't an intelligent comment. But he did say this though afterwards.
African Americans, I have no education with that. Period. I'm not even connecting to that no more.
Okay, so that would be better. I'm not connecting with that anymore. I can rock with that. We're not here to crucify the guy, but the first comment didn't make any sense. But him saying he's not connected with it anymore, all praises. So here's the point. Here's the point, though. If you're not connecting with African American anymore, and I'm not saying that you should, but you're Native American, who taught you that? Because obviously this whole time you've been identifying as African American. So now who taught you that you're actually Native American? Did your family? It couldn't be your family because you thought you were African American this whole time.
That's a system.
Did you watch Dane Calloway?
It's like connected to, hey, he's a bad guy. Don't hang with him. Oh, hey, I'm going to find out for myself. I'm not African American at all. My folks is not from Africa. And a lot of people in this room, folks, are from Africa. Might be a couple. But people just.
And when he's saying that, he's saying that we've been here since Pangea, I believe, which is just not true.
Understand. I asked my grandma, like, yo, grandma, what's your background? She like, Redfoot and Blacktail Indian. What? Yeah, my mother and my father did. We 100% Indians. That's my other grandma. We got Cherokee in us, and European and Italian, a little Dominican. It's crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? That's why I'm African. Y'all look at me funny, like, nigga, I'm African. Like, you're not though. Like, you're not. 80% of slaves was already here. It was native.
80% of the slaves were already here. Sir, I need some type of documentation and source for this. So you're saying we were all together. Are you saying we were all together in somewhere in Africa or the Middle East? And then some of us chose to go over there, but majority of us chose to come over here, and only 20% got left behind. Where are these numbers? Where did you get these numbers from? Somebody said he comes with paperwork. I'd like to see some, because all I've seen was Barack Obama saying we're Native Americans. And the Creek Indians in GA are from Africa. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that we are African, sir. This is a Hebrew Israelite channel. Do you know us? Do you know what channel you're on? For the brother no and ain't. Do you know what channel we're on? We're not Hamites. And when you say Africa, are you saying there's none of our people over there on that continent? You see how silly this all is? And if you were here before, I said there's 2 reasons your comments are not being blocked. I'm reading them. If you're saying something disrespectful, they're probably getting erased. But the point is this, just in case you're just now coming in, why do we have some Native Americans that will look, or some, let me say it like this, why do we have certain so-called Negroes that identify as Native Americans in that culture? I'll explain why. 2 reasons. We are the Israelites. The so-called Negro tribes are the Southern Kingdom. The indigenous people that the world recognizes as Latinos and Native Americans are the Northern Kingdom. We are the same people. God made us various shades of light brown to dark brown. That's how he did it. Some of the Negro tribes, the Southern Kingdom, were with the Northern Kingdom tribes when you look at the biblical historicity. Some of the indigenous people here were with the Southern Kingdom tribes when you look at the biblical historicity. So yes, you will have some so-called Negroes identifying as Native Americans because a minuscule remnant of us were with the Northern Kingdom. That's what I'm saying. He said, my premise is we are all Negro. Well, then that would go against the Bible, though. And when you mean by Negro, what do you mean? What do you consider a Negro? Yes, the Sakari came over here as well. That's a good point. And then another reason why you have Negroes identifying, well, there's three reasons. I'm gonna get to the third one. The second reason is the runaway slaves, which we got the documentation and the proof of that. The runaway slaves, certain Native American tribes were aiding the runaway slaves, therefore assimilating into the culture. And then you have those of the Negro tribes that were amongst the Native Americans and Latinos mixing in with them. So it's really simple, my brother. Well, let's continue though. I'll open it up for questions maybe after this. If not, put your comments in the comment section. Maybe I'll get at you.
It's crazy. Hey, where you get that number from?
Where do you get that number from? This is what I'm asking Dane Calloway or all you guys who might subscribe to his ideology. Where do you get these? What source? What scholarly source? What piece of history or archaeology do you get this from? What census do you get this from? So I thank Sway for saying that, but watch this answer.
The slaves was already here. It was natives. It's crazy. Hey, where you get that number from? Shit, I just checked the books. Which book?
Hey, shout out Sway. Hey, where you get them numbers from? I just checked the book. What books? Listen, you see this on my plate? It ain't bacon, it's lamb. You better off joining the nation of Islam.
Like you're not. 80% of slaves was already here. It was natives. It's crazy. Hey, where you get that number from? Shit, I just checked the books. Which book?
Yeah.
I got a whole laptop full of this shit. Yeah.
I thought you had books. Now you got a whole laptop full of this shit? What are you talking about? Niggas be playing. I got a whole laptop full of memes and YouTube channel. What? Listen, brother. I'm naming books. I'm naming sources. I'm naming scholars. I had a whole laptop full of it. What books?
Shit, I just checked the books. Which book?
Yeah.
I got a whole laptop full of this shit. Yeah? Yeah, just for me reading. It's not a solid book like, hey, there's only 1,000 slaves came here. And nah, nigga, you gotta read. You have to literally read. Like, I'm so deep into it, I don't think about a slave ship. I think about, what was the slave ship called? Jesus. What the fuck?
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, man. Man, it embarrasses me. 90% of my people embarrass me.
The slave ship called that Christopher Columbus was on. Who funded that slave ship? Who paid for that boat? Like, what was these folks' race? Like,
What does this have to do with, sir? I literally have, I got a book right now sitting next to me. I got a book sitting next to me that I use when I'm doing my live shows to just put my phone on it so it's not laying down so I can see the comments still. And it's just a random book. And it's crazy that you said that. This is called The History of the Jews. It shows you with historical documents who funded the voyages to get over here to colonize and who funded the voyages to go to the shores of West Africa and enslave. This is very simple. Are you saying you couldn't find anything? How come you can find anything and I have one scholarly book randomly out of nowhere just sitting right beside me that can prove that?
background.
People don't understand.
The next source he has is Crazy Paul, and I'm gonna miss everybody. And I'm gonna miss everybody. I don't want the game to be the same. Man, I never could understand what Bone Thugs and Harmony were saying, but they definitely have an argument for best male rap group, though. I can say that. And I'm gonna miss everybody. And I'm gonna miss everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. This is his next source. This nigga Busy Bone. One of them niggas got into our limo back when we was in the world and doing our thing. And we had a limo, me and Maccabees. We had a limo. We had all kind of ladies in there. We was turned up, you know, before I found my way, before I found the faith. And Crazy Bone, was it Crazy Bone or was it Lazy Bone? One of them guys got into our limo. Who was it? Was it Crazy Bone or Lazy Bone that got into our limo?
It was Lazy Bone.
It was Lazy Bone?
Yeah, it was Lazy Bone.
He was smoking crack during that time, I think.
He was on some type of heavy drug.
Yeah, he was on some type of heavy, what the OGs used to say, so uncontrollable ass drug, right? Either way, this is his source.
People did not just come from Africa. Black people were already in the...
Which one? It might be. I don't know. Yours? Oh, the black one? Oh, I don't know. Dang, that's crazy. She gave it back. I think I gave it back to her, though. It might be Vanoy. So what he is, one thing about what he's saying, though, is this is a little better than what the rest of them are saying. He's saying that all of us, well, Walker said that too. 80% of us were here, then they went and got the rest of the 20. I think that's what they're saying. 80% of us were here, then we went and got the rest of the 20% and took them as slaves. I think that's what they're saying. He's kind of saying the same thing. He's just not putting a percentage on it. It's all still laughable.
And people got to do their history to understand Black people were already in the States. People don't know that, though. They don't get that part. You know, they don't know that Nat Turner was really an Aborigine. That ain't Africa. You can look at Nat Turner and the depictions of him and know he was an Aborigine.
What? Wait a second. I'm confused. So, Officer Ayash, what is that? The York air conditioner. He said an Aboriginal. So Aboriginals don't look like, I don't know, man. What is he saying? Can you guys help me out? Wasn't over 90%. Can y'all help me out here? What is he saying? Is he saying that Aboriginals don't look like us, or I'm confused? Yeah, so we're just looking at people and you can look at them and say, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's look at Nat Turner and just see the depictions of him. The nigga, how did slaves know where to run on the land they never been on? What? Hold on. Look at this comment. Look at this comment. This guy says, how did slaves know where to run on a land they never been on? Good question. It's either stay a slave, die, or run. Okay, so this nigga looked like Marvin Gaye. right here. They don't look like Hamites. This here's a depiction. Come on, brother. We gotta do better. Black people really. This right here, this guy looks like definitely a nigga I know. This nigga look like Terrence Bud Crawford right here. This depiction of Nat Turner. That's definitely Bud about to whoop or after whooping Arrow's ass. We got to do better. I'm embarrassed for my people.
He had a different vibe about him.
He had a different vibe about him. God, black people kill me sometimes. He had a different vibe. Say, okay, so you hung out with the nigga.
So people don't like really.
I'm about to not read the comment boards for the rest. You know what? I'm just done with the comment boards. After I'm gonna read this last comment, then I'm done with the comment board. This brother says, "Where are the slave ships that brought us over here? We have dinosaur bones, but no remains of slave ships, sir." The fact that you believe in that the white man found every intricate bone of this megalithic animal from 3.5 million years ago shows me that you have a white woman amongst your person. You have a white woman among your persons. All right, I'm just done with the comment. I am done with the comments. One last comment, but keep laughing, big white man energy. This is why watching other channels with information is more important than this echo chamber. Okay, brother, go ahead, man. Get out of here. We don't want you. We don't want you. And I can guarantee you, it sure shit stinks. After you're blocked, you'll still be watching this channel. It's addicting. I got Christians who tell me, Deacon, I hate your guts, but I watch your channel. It's just addicting. So now you can just listen, but you can't type. We love you, but we don't want you. It's kind of a weird relationship. I love you, but I don't want you.
Not all black people did not come from freaking Africa. Because it's going to be very difficult for you to make it in that goddamn ship at the bottom of that goddamn ship for 3 months. When the food get low. Do the math. For real.
Busy. You do know they're transporting human cargo. They want to protect their cargo. They want to protect their investment. This is all economics. So they'll feed us to get us over here, be it little. There are sources that even say that they would bring, weather permitting, that they would bring certain of the slaves up to the top deck to bathe. This wasn't all the time or regular, but it was happening. They want to protect their cargo so they could work the hell out of us and get their money. You think we were just down there for 3 months without seeing the light of day? Majority of the time we were down on the bottom, of course. But I'll pull up some of the sources in a second. We don't just say things without proving it.
Motherfucking man. Seriously, and just ushering everybody in on boats the long goddamn way. They not stopping. Ain't no bathrooms on that motherfucker. Come on now. Come on now. Do the math. That's all you gotta do is do the motherfucking
math. All you have to do is do the mother effing math. That's it, brothers and sisters. Do the mother effing math. What math? I don't know. I don't know what math is going that we can do right now. We can do calculus, algebra, trigonometry. We can do all that math, but I don't know how that's supposed to explain a transatlantic slave trade. Think about if we could do math and it could tell us history. Like 170 times 1080 can unlock a part of my brain that can explain some 500-year-old history. Let me I'm gonna pull this up in a second here. I'm gonna pull this up in a second when we get to that portion. Copy. I'm gonna put this over here. Because I got to give you guys sources. Right now, we're just laughing. Oh, scholarship is so easy on this topic. Look at all these sources. So we're going to come back there and see. After we're done laughing, we're going to get into the sources ourselves. But where was we at? Let me see. His eye is on a sparrow. Hold on real quick.
The human body won't last that long. You on a boat for 30 days, you ain't eating nothing but fucking slop. I mean, and feces and shit of the motherfucker that's sitting next to you. You gonna die of disease, man.
They did.
It's gonna be like 3 black people left whose bodies are fit.
I didn't know we were that weak, Busy Ball. And when did you start studying anatomy, the anatomy of the body?
Fit enough to be able to withstand all that pressure under the goddamn ship. Come on. Keep that shit.
Can I just end with this one thing? These 4 brothers sitting here,
we have Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas. He's about to bring it out.
All come from Africa, and there was a country before 1492, and our history goes way beyond 1492. So you can't start us at 1492. We were always here. We were always here. We were always here.
It's time for us to stop trying to fit in with these niggas, man. One thing we gotta realize, he was going.
I want to know his name. Who's him? Who's that? Jaheim. Oh, wait, this is Jaheim, the R&B singer. Okay, let me just type in Jaheim. Let me just see what pops up. Jaheim fried chicken. Let's see what pops up. Baking with Jaheim. Is this his page? Let me see. No, this ain't his page, though. Let me see. Did I spell his name right? Okay. Jaheim Singer fried chicken. R&B crooner Jaheim has suddenly sparked concern among many of his fans. The Put a Woman First singer has been out of the limelight in recent years, but he's now resurfaced with a new look that includes dyed reddish brown hair and eyebrows. However, that's not why fans are talking. They're worried because of Jaheim's much smaller frame and seemingly gaunt face, which is raising suspicion that there is something wrong with him. In a new video posted online, fans check. Okay, either way, you know he's eating fried chicken. Niggas be playing this Native American game.
Fly with those. They don't fly with those, baby. I'm grateful though.
When I was a kid and I was watching everything Cash Money did, and all of them had each other's names tattooed on them. And this was when I was young. I didn't understand it, but then when I started going to New Orleans, like, you know, on tour and shit,
we tried.
The way they are with each other, they love each other a different way than everybody else.
It's Indian. It's Indian territory. It's tribes. Like, people be thinking Indians with the Pocahontas looking. That ain't how Indians look. They look like.
Bro, you just put a feather in your hair. They look like what? You the same nigga that said you drink your woman's pee all the time. Let her pee in your mouth all the time. Is that what you want us to do? Is that what the Native Americans did?
With the Pocahontas looking, that ain't how Indians look. They look like them people in New Orleans. Louisiana, all over Louisiana. Them Indians, tribes.
Indigenous.
And when you take people that, you can say that, but when you take people in, man, we family. Family.
So that was interesting what he said, and I wish he could have expounded on that. He said, when you take people in, we're family. That was interesting. Somebody said, Kevin Hart, sometimes celebrities tell you the truth. Kevin Hart said black people were Egyptians. Was he lying? Sir, we're not no goddamn Egyptians, man. Go over there and tell them niggas you're Egyptians. They gonna beat the hell out of you.
If you want to talk about indigenous people in America or Native Americans, they always.
Oh, now you got this guy right here saying that white people have fly DNA. Remember, he said white people got fly DNA, rat DNA, Kit Kat DNA, and just all kind of other bugged out shit. This guy, a UFO alien showed up on him, probed him. This is the guy we're using for the source. Yeah, he said chicken DNA. The white man got chicken DNA in him.
They called them the Star People. And yes, they were black. This is where the word Indian comes from the Latin word indigo, okay, which means blue, black, and
I'm about to end this class. In the word Indian goes back to the word indigo, which means blue, black. And I can guarantee you on these comments, these disgusting people of color, Yeah, go ahead and take that soundbite. I said it. The disgusting people of color are actually believing this. The word Indian means pertaining to India. And indigo does not mean blue, black. It means blue. And second of all, let's just say it did mean so black you look blue. Nigga, most niggas don't look blue black.
The skin color, okay? And so the Indians that you see today are what you call $5 Indians, okay, which are Caucasians, actually white people.
They were here before white people. So how are they white people? Now I did want to say this because I wanted to say this earlier. There are $5 Indians, of course, just like there's $5 niggas. What does that mean? Some of a remnant of their forefathers go back to, the slave masters and the conquerors, and so with us, go back to the slave masters and conquerors, but not all. By and large, we are still Israelites, Hebrew Israelites from our ancestors' lineage. Whose stuff is that?
And go look up the Dow's Commission, go read the Dow's rolls. Back in the day, white people was allowing other white people to sign the Dow's rolls, saying that they was Native Americans in exchange for benefits and assistance from the government. So all these Indians that own these casinos and own the land, and they got straight hair and they look like goddamn Mexicans and Chinese people.
Yeah, the hatred for our Latino brothers. I'm subject to slap this guy when I see him. There's only a few people who I will breathe on the back of my hand and then slap him, and that's an individual by the name of Faithful to God. Who else? Maybe Brother Polite. I'm gonna slap Brother Polite. Slap this guy, and maybe, just maybe, a guy by the name of Mark. You guys should know the rest. That he's such a federal agent. I can't even say his full name. A guy by the name of Mark. I'm gonna slap the hell out of him. You guys should know who I'm talking about.
White people, those are what you call $5 Indians. Those are descendants of the people who actually took the land and then acted like they was the people who the land got took from. Black people are the original Indians.
Black people are Native Americans.
Where's Easy-E at when you need him? Easy-E was kicking your ass, Ice Cube.
Had, a lot of proof that, some of us started here in this land. Everybody wasn't brought over from Africa. So,
warning.
We have to, like you say, unpack all of that and try to, find the true lineage of people in this country because some,
Okay, when you look at the rest of the video, this is hip hop legend Professor Griff, and I forgot who this guy is, but all right, we're done with that. We are done with that. I know, yeah. No, listen, no Vaseline was the ultimate diss record. That is true. You're correct about that. Hey, Alum, the water for the super chat donation. Greatly appreciate you for supporting the ministry. He said, "I can't stand these cats are hurting the message, especially those that are mixing this madness with our message." I mean, it's okay. It's okay. If God has people, our people gravitating towards this, it's because they're the undesirables. They're the 2/3, and this is supposed to happen. Narrow is the gate to the way of truth. Remember that. Narrow is the gate to the way of truth. Wide is the gate to lies and destruction. Remember that. So let us now. I'm gonna close out of here. Keep it open though. So I want to just go through a couple of sources here, just to like prove that the transatlantic slave trade did happen, and prove that before the white man got here, the people who the world recognizes today as the Latinos and Native Americans were here, with minimal Negroes amongst them. But there were Hamites amongst them. What is a Hamite? Someone that kind of looks like a Negro, but is not of the same stock, descent, race, if you will. Those were the Olmecs. Don't get the Olmecs confused with Negroes. So let's unpack some information here. This is from Encyclopedia Virginia. Encyclopedia Virginia. This is the famous depiction of the Brooke slave ship. The Brooke slave ship, I believe, right? As you see, these are the schematics. They are who? So you have this deck here. This is like a quadruple deck. Well, this deck right here is not as big as the two main bottom decks right here. This is how we were being stacked. This is why we call it cargo slave ships. This is just a summary. The slave ship was the means by which nearly 12.5 million. Now, some people are saying, those of the Dane Calloway persuasion are saying, no, it never happened. And then some are saying, nah, maybe like 1 million, maybe. I say more than this. And they don't want to be truthful about the brutal and horrific act, heinous act that they did against us. We're transported from Africa to the Americas between 1500 and 1866. Now, it kind of gives, which is good here. I wonder what year this is from. What year that's from. I am Native American. Why be better? Keep saying he's Native American. Okay, sir, if you're Native American, fine, cool. In 1672, the Royal African Company received a monopoly over deliveries of captives to the English Caribbean islands of Barbados and Jamaica. So, if you want to try to say that the white man is lying and everybody's lying, are you going to say, oh, the Africans over there who played a part in it, they're lying too? Let's take a look at the African Royal Company, or Royal African Company. Royal African Company. 16. Let's take a look. 1670. Royal African Monopoly. There we go. This is good. The Royal African Company was an English trading company. My bad. That wasn't even Hamites. Salakia. So this is an English trading company called the Royal African Company. This is documented facts. You can get this out of the King's Grants, the rights to trade in Africa, National Archives. It was overseen by the Duke of York, the brothers of Charles II. The RSC was founded after Charles II ascended to the English throne in 1660. That's pretty early on in the slave trade. This is why I say this is ridiculous that we have to even go through this lesson. So this company that actually existed had a monopoly on slaves from the Caribbean islands of Barbados and Jamaica. The ships and their voyages. Slave ships range in size from 10. Somebody said, where is the remains? Look up remains of slave ships. Stop shooting my comments down, cuz. King Tookie. Sir, ain't nobody no cuz in here, and we're shooting your comments down. Stop. And also, look up Quoted Mexican as well, and this man depicting natives. Ayash keeps telling me to check my messages. Sir, I appreciate the help. Thank you. But we don't need to do much for this topic. Bring out a few sources, articles, archaeology. We'll be fine. I promise you. I got this. I think I can do it. So, somebody said about 600,000 slaves were transported to the United States, or 5% of the children taken from Africa. About 10%. Okay, King Tookie, you've been spamming this for a while, so now you have to be banned. I know you have sources, but we don't have to. This is not like a big deal. We don't need to go super deep on it. So slave ships range in size from the 10th was sailed from Liverpool and delivered slaves. Encyclopedia of Virginia. If you want to go read this, read it. It's source document. It is source document. So we're not just making claims without sources. We are not just making claims without sources. So I mentioned this earlier because they're saying the transatlantic slave trade never happened and we were here. This is from, and I know you guys been seeing this everywhere. Certain African countries trying to apologize for the transatlantic slave trade. Inshallah says, drop the link for what? Genetic quest leads to African apology for role in slave trade. So when they say Africans sold Africans, that's not true. Hamites. I don't like to use the word African because that's a continent where many races dwell. But Hamites were selling Israelites. I'll say that again. Hamites were selling Israelites. So you will have a few countries, not all of them, a few countries, a few tribes apologizing for their role in it. So you can say, oh, the white man's lying, the white man's lying. Then it's going to turn into a bigger conspiracy. Now these Hamites are lying about their role in slavery. What do they benefit from lying? What is the benefit? I hear you. Anyway, for time's sake, somebody said, am I from Ham? Are you from Ham? I told you this ain't bacon, it's lamb. I'm a Hebrew. You might as well go join the nation of Islam. So anybody can go read this article. There's videos on it. There's statements on it. You guys can do your own legwork as well. This is good too. Right now, we're just going through simple source documents to prove the transatlantic slave trade did happen. And it's a shame that we have to do this. Then we're going to get into since the real Native Americans were so-called Negroes, like people are saying, we're going to get into the depiction and description of the indigenous people by the first encounters and see if they're identified as Negroid. So I want to play this. I want to play this video real quick, and then I'm going to look up an article here. At 120. Super bugging. How you block your brother, cuz? Cuz you're spamming, cuz. You spamming,
You know, a lot of people think that in order to
Now, this right here is probably the a huge cut on Dane Calloway and the fact that they believe the slave trade never happened. Judah Auto Sales, the water for the super chat donation, greatly appreciate you. Right, huh? He said, why you block your brother, cuz? On my mama, I ain't spam. I asked a simple question, cuz. What question did you ask, Lope? On a set. What question did you ask, Lope? Now, this is the dagger, though. This is the dagger. So this said, how do you get out of the slave ports? How do you get out of the slave ports? That's what I want to know. All the slave ports of West Africa. If it didn't happen, how do we have slave ports? You guys get what I'm saying? This is why I say, and I hope a lot of people watch this video. All praise to the Most High. But I'm just trying to figure out, if there wasn't no transatlantic slave trade, why do we have the slave castle in Ghana that everybody goes to visit? Did they just make this up? Fair use, fair use, fair use. Where all the Africans come from if over 90% of all West Africans was brought to Spanish occupied South America? Hey, cuz, I'm gonna tell you right now, Lope. OTS. I don't know where you're getting these numbers from, bro. Like you just making up these numbers. I don't know where you're getting these numbers from. Five people. Kerry Cabin, the water for keeping the $2 drive alive. Let me play this.
First captives were shipped directly from Africa to America. The majority of African captives were exported from the coast of West Africa, some 3,000 miles between what is now Senegal and Angola, and mostly from modern-day Republic of Benin, Nigeria, and Cameroon. But at the coast of Ghana are a number of ancient castles and forts, marking the beginning of the slaves' perilous journey during the era of the slave trade. These fortresses were the last memory the slaves had of their homeland before being shipped off across the Atlantic, never to return again.
So that's my question. He's all right, Ayaz. He's all right. It's just a brother who needs to get put on the set. We're gonna put Cut on the set. We're gonna put him on Sakari, pack him out, and make him repent. When you join this Hebrew Israelite movement, you gotta drop your flag and you gotta repent and you gotta denounce the hood. You ready to denounce the hood, homie? You gotta drop your flag, denounce your hood, and be a Hebrew Israelite. Like we all had to. You ready to do that? Okay, let's keep going. But you gotta see what point I'm making, though, right? You gotta see what point I'm making is that why do we have these slave ports if the transatlantic slave trade never happened? Please, we gotta stop with this madness. Matter of fact, okay, so I just wanted to play for time's sake. I'm trying to go through this kind of quickly. 1 second. Okay. So continuing for time's sake, this one is good right here though. Now let's get what you call a primary source. Let's get a primary source. Somebody that was actually on a slave ship and wrote about it. You can find a lot of these. We'll just get one famous one.
We need stories.
The Atlantic slave trade saw.
Okay, here we go. Now let's listen up.
Slave ships were designed to carry hundreds of people, but in the interest of profit, they were usually severely overcrowded. Captives were often packed into the ship so tightly that they had no more than a few feet to move, sit, or sleep. Conditions were so cramped that the enslaved wouldn't even have been able to find a bucket to defecate or urinate in, thus forcing them to stay in their own waste. Engravings depicting the conditions on the infamous ship, the Brooks, which were later a key exhibit in the argument against the slave trade, showed how slaves were to be put below deck and carried onto slave ships. Prior to the passage of the Regulation Act of 1788, the Brooks carried over 700 slaves. After the law was passed, regulations restricted the number of captives aboard to about 450. In his memoirs, Equiano also described what met him when he went below deck on the slave ship.
Okay, Equiano, the memoirs of Equiano. The memoirs of Equiano. This is called a primary source to this time period. He was on them slave ships. Was he a liar? This is the lengths you have to go to deny this. Oh no, well, the Africans are lying. They're not apologizing. They're lying. Equiano's lying. Oh, you got archaeology? That's lying. What? That's not how scholarship works. Nate, he said, Nate says, I believe we are from here and are the Israelites. I'm gonna tell you right now, Nate, you will get destroyed. I love you and I see you. I love you and I see you in here all the time. But if you were to debate that because you believe in the Bible, you will get completely eviscerated. I'm gonna explain to you why. The Bible says that we would be in slavery in Babylon. Where is that? And not only that, the Bible says we wouldn't have our homeland till the Messiah came back. So if you're saying our homeland, if you're saying that this is our homeland, this is Israel. So is this Israel? Wait. If this is our homeland, then Nate, you would have to be saying Israel is here. Is that what we're doing? Let's look up Equiano. North American, South American. Oh my goodness. You know people don't really. Okay. I'm moving on for time's sake. So let's look up. I think this is pronounced Alodua Equiano. Alodua Equiano. So let's take a look at this. Israel. No, hell no, Israel is not America. See, this is why people laugh at black people. Niggas talk about the land of Judah is in Utah, Israel's in America, Egypt is in Miami. Come on with the TikTok doctrines, right? Jerusalem. So let's take a look at this, right? The memoirs of Equiano. Known for most of his life as Gustavus Vassa, was a writer and abolitionist from, according to his memoir, the village of Isaka in modern South Nigeria. Enslaved as a child in Africa, he was shipped to the Caribbean and sold to a Royal Navy officer. He was sold twice more before purchasing his freedom in 1766. As a free man in Loveland, Equiano supported the British abolitionist movement. Equiano was a part of the first abolitionist group of the Sons of Africa, whose members was living in Britain, and he was leader of the abolitionist movement, 1780. Right, interesting narrative. Early life, according to his memoir, Equiano was born 1745 in the Igbo village of Isaka, southern Nigeria. Hebrew Israelite. He claimed his home from the kingdom of Benin, but was likely a geographical error, and there was likely no connection between his home and Benin. Equiano recounted an incident of an attempted kidnapping of children of his Igbo, which was foiled by adults when he was around the age of 11. They were kidnapped and taken far from their homes, separated and sold to slave traders. He tried to escape, but was thwarted after his owners changed several times. Equiano happened to meet with his sister, but they were separated again. 6 or 7 months, he was kidnapped. He arrived at the coast where he was taken on board a European slave ship. He was transported with 244 other enslaved. You could read this in his history archive from the original, and the interesting narrative of the life of Alada Equiano. You can read that. He was transported with other enslaved Africans across the Atlantic Ocean to Barbados, to the British, where he and a few other slaves were sent on sail for the colony of Virginia. He talks about his journey on these slave ships. This is what you call a primary source. Sirs, ladies, gents. Now, to the people saying that the indigenous people looked like Negro, by and large. For the people that are saying the indigenous people here before the white man got here were Negro, by and large, somebody said, why you skip the next paragraph? Because I'm purposely and intentionally doing it because there's something in there that debunks me. You want me to read this whole thing, bro? Which paragraph you want me to read? Is I'm purposely deceitfully leaving out a paragraph. What paragraph do you want me to read, sir? Where? Which one? Hello? Here, that's what I'm gonna do. You go read it. Read it and tell me what I missed, brother. Lord in Christ. Here, I'm gonna put this in the chat. There you go. The one after you stopped. Okay, go read it, sir. I'm moving on. How about you give a super chat? Give a super chat, I'll read the whole thing. Other than that, I'm already 2 hours on. I'm over my time limit. So let's just talk about a couple of sources that talk about the descriptions of the people here, right? And this is a source from my brother, Ayash, Sakari, San Francisco. He said, look under the section. Okay. All right. We'll look up a couple of sources from Sakari, San Francisco. So let's go to, what is it? On the expedition, York and the Native Americans arriving, which part? The black, I think I passed it. Early life, I passed it. The name on the expedition, York and the Native Americans, right here. This the one? York and the natives. Or he said visiting the natives. That's it. Then why you put visiting the natives? This is why I don't trust Sakari, San Francisco, and their sources. No, I'm joking. So, York's spectacular contributions. I'll go back up. This is dealing with York the Explorer from 1770 to 75. An American explorer, historical figure, being the only African American member of the Lewis and Clark expedition. You understand? Let me say that again for you Dane Calloway people who think that the Native Americans here were all Negro. So this is a nigga, but appears to be looking like a nigga. And he is 1770 to 75. We're going to go down right here. York and Native Americans. York's most spectacular contributions were with the Native American tribes the expedition came in contact with, whose assistance was sometimes very necessary. According to the journals of the expedition, York's blackness served as a passport with them. Ah, interesting. They were impressed by such a strange creature. That's what he said. If he's a Negro, why did the Native Americans like, oh, this Negro ain't from around here? This Negro ain't from around here. According to Richard Betts, he was the main attraction in Lewis and Clark's traveling magic show. York was a sensation. The following excerpts are from the Expedition Official Report. Indian bows, you're a remarkable, stout, strong Negro. They had never seen a being of that color. So this is from October 9th, 1804. They have never seen a being of that color. That's interesting. Proves there's a distinction, and therefore flocked around him to examine the extraordinary monster. This is from October 10th, 1804. After this, Aragon was exhibited, very much of their astonishment, nor were they less surprised at the color and manner of York. That's a dagger. So here's the point. York knows what a white man is. York knows what a white man is. So he knows he's not going to, and white people know what a Negro is. But when he goes to this isolated Native American tribe, they are fascinated with his extreme melanin. They called him Big Medicine. I can see that. Melanin is medicine. But anybody can go look this up. Since I don't even like to even deal with color because we're all different shades from light brown to dark brown. But clearly this Negro man went to this Native American tribe and they said, nigga, you dark as hell, my nigga. You don't have to use Google. You don't use Google? All right. Well, when you're on your way to a restaurant, don't use Google either. Don't use Google navigation. When you want to call a bank or a company, don't use Google either. Also, too, ain't that funny, right? Ain't that funny that we have 1804. In 1804, York's account with the Native Americans. Clearly, by and large, I'm going to say by and large, they're not Negroid color like him. And then in 1804, we have the president of Haiti. Nate, you know what? Nate. Oh my goodness. Nate just said Google or Wikipedia is not used by real scholars. I can show you a scholar right now who can Google information. Hey, you know what, Nate? Have a good day. We love you, but you're gone. All right. Black Agenda Report. Now, look, in the same year, the president of Haiti, who gonna disagree with him? Ain't no nigga in our time harder than him. He kicked the whole French and they ass out of Haiti. What nigga harder than him? What nigga is harder than Jean-Jacques Dessalines? Show me one. I want to know a nigga harder than him. I want to know a nigga harder than this individual right here. Please. And let's see what he said the indigenous people looked like. Because he said there's white people, then he said there's black people, and there's yellow people. And he said the yellow and the black people are the same people, and the yellow people are the indigenous people. This is in his proclamation, the proclamation of Jean. right? 1804. I'm gonna skip to here we go. Look at this. Look at this right here. Blacks and yellows. Blacks and yellows. Who does Haiti share the island with? The Dominican, the so-called Dominicans. Blacks and yellows. So he's identifying those indigenous people over there as yellow, not white, and not black. Then he says, whom the refined duplicity of Europeans has for a long time endeavored to divide. So they're saying that these yellows are the indigenous people of the land, who the white man, Europeans, have tried to conquer and enslave both of us, which they did. The French took Haiti, the Spanish and Portugal, I believe, took the other side of the island, hence Dominican Republic. You who are now consolidated and make but one family. So he's saying that he's really teaching Hebrew Israelites, teaching Hebrew Israelism. He's saying the indigenous yellows and the blacks are the same people, because according to the Bible, they are the Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom, Israelites. One family. He said that. What nigga harder than him? I'm still waiting on somebody to comment and tell me. Marcus Garvey wasn't harder than him. Anybody can go look this up. He said the indigenous people, which would be the natives, they are the yellow people, which different shades of brown, not really yellow, but that was the classification. Nevertheless, he's saying that they weren't so-called Negro or white. This is a good artifact right here. When we talk about artifacts, right? This is the Mayan Banumbac. The Mayan Banumbac. They're painted walls. Good archaeology. This is how the Mayans depicted themselves. This is what you call an eyewitness. Did the Mayans depict themselves as Negro, so-called Negro? Look at this. Let's just be real. Anybody can go look that up. I'll look at one more. The Codex Mendoza. Let's look up the Codex Mendoza. Codex Mendoza. What's the piece of that says dwell in the fields right down the river in Africa? Okay, what is the Codex Mendoza? Pre-Espanol. There you go. Pre-Espanol. The Codex Mendoza is an Aztec codex, believed to have been created around the year 1541. It contains a history of both Aztec rulers and their conquests, as well as a description of daily life and prison. The codex is written using Aztec pictograms with translation and explanations of the text provided in Spanish. Is his name the victory? Okay. So the codex been drawn by an indigenous man is depicted every day of their rulers. Oh, okay. Got you. Got you. So here we see in the Codex Mendoza, these were drawn by indigenous people from 1541. Hebrew Israelites, on-site visuals, Hebrew Israelites. But as you can see, these are brown people, albeit lighter brown. I'm not sure how the original looks because this is digitized, but I would like to see the original of this codex because I can't really gauge the color dealing with it being digitized. Where can we see the actual? There we go, like a picture. Okay. So this is a 15th, this is a 50, this is not digitized right here. This is not digitized. And if you scoot in, you can see clearly they're depicting themselves as a lighter brown people from 1541. So what about the Olmecs? What about the Olmecs? What about the Olmecs? Hold on real quick. The Olmecs, because people will use this to say, look, see, I told you Negroes were Native American. Well, then you would have to believe that every person on the continent of Africa is your fellow brother and sister, same race. There are people that share our features but are not our same race or same ethnicity, if you will. The Olmecs were a Hamite people who came out here to the Americas from the Middle East on voyages. The Bible tells you that. First Kings 10 and 22. For the king had a sea at navy of Tarshish, which navy of Haram, Canaanite, Phoenician, maritime people. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, and apes and peacocks. A year and a half from the Middle East to get here, and a year and a half to get back there. These are that people. Hamites who took voyages over here, ended up stuck here due to getting shipwrecked. So just recapping, there's 4 things, because I wanted to talk about Native Americans who assisted the Underground Railroad. Native Americans who assisted the Underground Railroad. Anybody can look this up. There's so many sources on it. But I wanted to just revisit everything before we close out. The indigenous people of the Americas are who the world recognizes today, by and large, as the Latinos and Native Americans. Why do we have what appears to be Negro indigenous people in the Olmecs? Those are Hamites. Somebody said Russians are Native Americans. Hey, bro, I got 3 words for you. Get lost, termite. So why do we have certain Negroes, so-called Negroes, identifying as Native Americans? For one, some of the Southern Kingdom Negro tribes of Israel, the Black Jews, assimilated into the Northern Kingdom culture about 2,500 to 3,000 years ago. Secondly, you have runaway slaves that would dwell amongst the Native Americans and assimilate into the culture. Third, you have mixing. Fourth, you have, after being assimilated, you have mixing. And fourth, you have the Olmecs that may look like so-called Negroes, but they're actually Hamites. Even if you don't believe in the Bible, it's a book of history. Research is already done. DNA shows Russians are descendants of Native Americans. All right, sir. Hey, go teach it and see what people say about it. You deserve followers. You deserve a voice in the metaverse. Someone said, why are Negroes in Latin countries being oppressed by Latin people? Because of the curses of Deuteronomy. The Bible. Why are Latinos in black neighborhoods getting oppressed by black people? Why is the Elotes man getting his corn cart robbed by black people? So I said the Bible is not a book of history. Stop it. There's is Alexander the Greek in history? Well, he's in the Bible. Is the Cyrus the Persian king history? Well, it's in the Bible. Is Pontius Pilate in history? Well, it's in the Bible. People, man. I swear. So either way, y'all think native means bloodline, but it don't more like membership. Okay. All right. Well, if anybody wants to continue Latin or ancient Hindu, look, whoever's supposed to bug out like a lot of these guys and in the chat, let the Lord just bug them out. It's all God's doing anyway. If you want to bug out, go ahead, do it. Enjoy it. Have fun doing it. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to end this, y'all, by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. We do so by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Till next time, don't bug out, and shalom.